Hey yconic, this is Beating Burnout, how to burn bright, not out. And my name is Hamza Khan. And over the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through the 12 stages of burnout, as well as 3 tried and tested strategies to reduce the probability of impact and stress on your life. Now, before we get started, I wanted to give you a heads up that this video could touch on some sensitive topics. Mention might be made of such things as death or dying, self-injurious behavior, mental illness, and suicide. All right, let's go. I want you to take a moment to reflect on something. When was the last time you felt burned out because of school or work? And how did you know for sure that you were burning out and that it wasn't just normal stress? Back in the 70s, Dr. Herbert Freudenberger and Dr. Gil North coined the term burnout to describe a state of total mental and physical exhaustion. Interesting fact, when they initially published their research, they were laughed at by their colleagues. Their research was even rejected. But now here we are, at a time when the World Health Organization has upgraded the definition of burnout. And it's a time when they've described stress, the biggest underlying cause of burnout, to be the health epidemic of the 21st century. Let me walk you through the 12 stages of burnout. Follow along. Number 1, the compulsion to prove oneself. It always starts the same way. You feel the need to demonstrate your worth, and you take on more and more responsibility. More courses, more part-time work, more volunteer opportunities, more extracurricular activities, and the list goes on and on and on. Then comes stage 2, working harder. This is characterized by an inability to switch off. You find yourself studying and working non-stop. Because of how stressed you seem, your friends and family suggest cutting back on school, work, and extracurricular activities. From that point onwards, it starts getting slippery. Stage 3 is neglecting your needs. This looks like erratic sleeping, disrupted eating, and a lack of social interaction. Stage 4 is displacement of conflicts. Here you feel threatened, panicky, and jittery. You start putting aside challenging situations. That tough conversation you needed to have with your parents, maybe tomorrow, maybe next month, maybe never. Your friend who owes you money, or that group member who didn't pull their weight. Well, rather than deal with them, you avoid them. Then comes stage 5, revision of values. Here you start to push aside your friends and family, and the hobbies you loved, well, they're now seen as irrelevant. At this stage, school and work is your only focus, and everything else simply does not matter. We're halfway there. Stage 6 is denial of emerging problems. This one especially plays out in group settings. You develop intolerance, perceiving others as stupid, lazy, demanding, or undisciplined. It's now hard to have normal relationships because you're always cynical and aggressive. Stage 7 is withdrawal. This far into the cycle, your social life is small or non-existent. Stage 8 is odd behavioral changes. What was once visible to maybe just yourself is now visible suddenly to everyone. Changes in behavior are obvious and your friends and family are very concerned. What do you mean you're not coming to dinner, a sibling might ask, and is everything okay, a teacher might comment. This doesn't feel like your best work. Stage 9 is depersonalization. Here you've lost sense of self, and you can no longer perceive your own needs. Now look, if you made it this far, you're probably not even aware that there's a problem. I've been here before, and I didn't realize that I was going through it until months later, because in essence, my reality had shifted. Stage 10 is inner emptiness. You feel empty inside, and to overcome this, you look to risky activities such as overeating, sex, alcohol, or drugs. Stage 11 is depression. You feel lost and unsure. You're exhausted all the time. You never want to get up out of bed. The future feels bleak, dark, and hopeless. Finally, stage 12 is full-blown burnout syndrome. This includes total mental and physical collapse. Here's when you absolutely need immediate and full medical attention. With all that being said, if you're currently at stage 6 or higher, I suggest that immediately after this video is done, or probably sooner, that you get professional help. If you are in immediate danger or need urgent medical support, call 911. I'd also suggest calling or texting Kids Help Phone. You can call them at the number on the screen or text the word CONNECT, CONNECT, to 686868. They're available 24 hours a day and free of charge to Canadians aged 5 to 29 who want confidential and anonymous professional care. One more time, these are the 12 stages of burnout. Let's switch gears and talk about how to recover from burnout and how to grow your overall resilience. Let's talk about how to reduce the probability of stressful experiences in your life, as well as reduce the impact that stressful experiences can have on your life. In my book, The Burnout Gamble, I present around 24 different strategies. Here I'm going to give you 3 that are the most relevant to what you're going through. Start by deloading priorities. FOMO, the fear of missing out. We've all felt it, especially when that notification goes off and you check the number of messages you have and you see it's in the double digits and you wonder, what happened? But do you really need to know what happened? If it was really important, wouldn't someone find a more urgent way to get in touch? The last thing you need to do when you're burning out is place more demands on your time, energy, and attention. That's why I'm asking you to become a pro at ignoring things. Embrace the joy of missing out. Start by booking essential time. The things you discovered during COVID-19 that are important to you, put them in your calendar and make them inflexible, make them non-negotiable. Jogging, put it in there. Sleeping 8 hours a day, putting it in there. Eating lunch at a certain time, 12:30, whatever, put it in there. Playing with your dog, put it in there. Put anything that is important to you, recovering your energy and protecting your time and attention in your calendar, and don't let anyone book on top of it. And if for whatever reason you need to decline an invitation to something or decline a priority, you can do so in a respectful way. It's not as simple and as crass necessarily as just giving them a quick no and a very blunt no, if you will. You can provide a respectful no. You can start by acknowledging the importance of the request. You can say, hey, thanks for thinking of me for this. Then explain why you're saying no. You can say, unfortunately, I can't do 1 p.m. as I've already got another thing, but in reality, that thing is something that you need to be at your best, and don't feel guilty about it. And then suggest an alternative. What if we did 3 p.m. next Tuesday instead? Would that work? The masterstroke of this approach is the third step, which communicates to the person that you're still interested in making things happen, but just on more balanced terms. Now it's time to prevent yourself from relapsing into patterns of exertion that led you to burnout in the first place. This is about assembling boundaries. I want you to consider the DASH method. Decide how exactly the project at hand is going to end. Will it be time-based, energy-based, results-based, or feelings-based? Let's use the example of jogging from a few slides ago. How will you know when to stop jogging? Well, decide in advance. Are you going to jog for an hour? Well, that's a time-based dash. Are you going to jog until you're exhausted? That's an energy-based dash. Are you going to jog until you've completed a full lap around the neighborhood? That's a results-based dash. Or are you jogging until you catch a reflection in the car window and think, damn, I look better than I did yesterday? Well, that's a feelings-based dash. Either way, decide how work is going to end, decide how studying is going to end, and get creative. Feel free to combine 2 or more of these dashes together. The third and final strategy is overcome overachievement. Now, confession, I used to be a smoker, and I'm not proud of it, and I'm glad I quit. And when I did, I noticed that there was no longer a physical prompt to stop working. And often I would find myself staring at a screen for uninterrupted hours on end. Now, I'm not by any means suggesting becoming a smoker, but please build breaks into your day, and there's different types of breaks. There's micro breaks, for example, every 20 to 25 minutes, stand up, move, and stretch. There's short rest breaks, get away from your desk every 60 to 90 minutes. There's lunch breaks, eating healthy and doing what you like, and don't work or study while you're eating lunch. That's not eating, that's actually studying or working while eating lunch. And then do what you want and don't force yourself to socialize or turn that downtime into uptime. And make sure you're also using your weekends and vacations as periods of resetting. Now hear me out, yconic. Burnout occurs when you're continuously far beyond your comfort zone, when the impact of stress on your life is high and the likelihood that stressful events will occur is also high. But by knowing the 12 stages of burnout and practicing the 3 strategies I just shared with you, you can find yourself in the middle of this risk reduction chart. It's a comfortable and reliable place from which you can either turn up your productive fire or turn it down. And in this way, you can sustainably burn bright, not out. Thank you so much, yconic. Hope you found this video to be valuable and know that we've got a lot more where it came from.